Hey y'all, welcome back to Leilani's couch. 10 minutes of motivation. Settle in because today we're peeling back the curtain on a crisis that's been heavy on my mind and honestly a bit under everyone's radar. Nearly 300,000 Black women have vanished from the workforce in just the last few months. That's not just a headline. It's a wound, one that's bleeding all over our families, our communities, and really the country as a whole. If I sound a little fired up, it's because I am. I was sitting late in my office reviewing some market data because y'all know real estate is my bread and butter. And I kept noticing entire fields with fewer Black women on the payroll, healthcare, education, retail, even finance, the sectors we've always shown up for, the spaces where Black women have historically been the backbone, gone. Look, it's not just a jobs issue, it's a national one. When Black women disappear from these spaces, the whole system shifts, and it's never for the better. But I want to zero in for a second and talk about what this means up close, like inside our own living rooms. When Black women lose work, it's not just a statistic. It's dinner tables that get quieter, rent payments that get missed, and dreams that get pressed on pause. I think about a mom I know in Atlanta. Let's call her Jasmine. She lost her job at the end of last year, and the dominoes started falling quick. She went from a steady paycheck to scrambling for odd gigs, juggling childcare, hustling harder than ever just to keep the lights on. One lost job, but the impact, it echoes through her household, the kids, her parents, even the neighbors she used to help out. And it's not just about paying bills, y'all. It's the generational stuff too. Less income for mom means less stability today and a whole lot less to pass down tomorrow. And let's be real. When Black women get squeezed out, it isn't only entry-level roles that thin out. It's leadership too. Talented, driven women just up and leaving or being nudged out of boardrooms, management teams, you name it. When we disappear from the top, mentorship dries up. Young women can't picture themselves leading if nobody like them sits at the table. Just peek into a couple Fortune 500 companies and watch what happens when there's no Black woman in the boardroom. Suddenly, those innovative recruitment programs, gone. Those community partnerships, wandering. The impact ripples out, reshaping whole industries without us ever realizing what we've lost until it's too late. Another layer, and it stings because I see it every day as a broker. The racial wealth gap, y'all, it just gets wider when Black women step out of the workforce. The stats don't lie. Every paycheck missed, every promotion denied. That's dollars lost, not only today, but down the road for generations. Picture this. 2 sisters, same background, but only one is able to stay employed while the other gets pushed out. 10 years later, their savings, their credit, even their kids' opportunities, polar opposites. We're watching generations of wealth, first homes, college funds, the cushion that keeps families afloat, dry up in real time. And trust that affects not just the sisters, but everybody tied to them. Now, let's dig a little deeper because none of this is happening in a vacuum. It's systemic, rooted in biased hiring, pay disparities that never seem to close, and a serious lack of everyday support. There was a survey not too long ago. Black professionals were reporting feeling isolated, overlooked, hit with microaggressions day in, day out. The message was clear. Either you adapt and take it, or eventually you get tired and leave. Sometimes we see organizations scramble for a quick fix, maybe throw up a diversity initiative, give a surface level training. But y'all, is anything actually changing for real? Or are we just painting over cracks in the wall? I'm just saying the roots run deep and we need deep, honest change, not a fresh coat of paint. All of this isn't just numbers or policy talk. It eats at your mental and emotional well-being. Burnout and exhaustion don't even cover it some days. I remember a close friend, let's call her Denise, who walked away from corporate life after years of stress and just not being seen. Like, she wasn't leaving work, she was leaving weight, leaving microaggressions, leaving the exhaustion of always being the only or the first. But here's the tough part. How are organizations actually measuring this stuff? Are they even noticing, or is it just another line on the turnover report? We can't address a problem if we keep pretending it's invisible, or worse, if we don't care enough to notice. What happens when income, influence, and leadership disappear from our neighborhoods? The impact radiates. Local nonprofits that once offered mentorship for young people now can't afford to keep their programs running, or the leaders themselves are gone, off to survive somewhere else. That cultural heartbeat, the one powered by Black women from Sunday school to city council, starts to fade out. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but that loss, it's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's less guidance, less celebration, less tradition for everyone in those spaces. We lose more than workers. We lose culture, legacy, togetherness, all of it. Representation matters. And when Black women are gone from the tables where decisions get made, the whole conversation shifts. I've seen high-profile initiatives at organizations just fizzle out after the Black women leading them left. It's like the glue disappeared and suddenly progress stalls. Sometimes an entire industry can miss its blind spots because there's nobody left willing or even present to call it out. When we're not in the room, things get missed. Perspectives get lost. The table just isn't the same. Now, I won't just sit here and list problems because y'all know we're about solutions on this couch. There's work being done. Programs, networks, and policies helping Black women re-enter and actually stay in their fields are popping up all over. I got to spotlight the Boss Women Network for a second. Our mission has always been to mentor, support, help you get back in the game, whether you're returning after a break or never felt like you got a fair shot. But listen, real support means real change, intentional hiring, mentorship, pathways for promotion, and spaces where being yourself is the requirement, not the exception. What does meaningful support even look like? It's opportunity that comes with safety, with space to grow, not just survive. So where does all this take us? What kind of future are we building? Not just for ourselves, but for our daughters, our sisters, that next generation walking behind us. Community leaders I've talked to are shouting for policy changes, real ones. Think paid leave, childcare, strong accountability on equity, and leadership pipelines that reach back as much as they reach up. Personally, I find myself thinking about what my own daughter is going to inherit, not just a seat at the table, but a chair that's got her name carved into it. My hope is that these stories, these hard conversations, plant seeds for a future where Black women don't just show up. They thrive, lead, and own every room they walk into. That's the vision. That's why these 10 minutes matter. Thanks for sharing the couch with me today. Until next time, keep pouring into yourself, keep rising, and remember, You're never alone on this journey.